Okay, so here's my question. Have you ever looked at your craft supplies and thought, or a craft supply, and thought, why do I still have this? And then your next thought is, but what if I need it someday? Yeah, totally guilty, my friends. Today, we are talking about how to declutter craft supplies without the guilt spiral, the regret panic, or accidentally keeping a glue stick from 2009, just in case. Hey, everybody, it's Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. I am back with another organizing tip of the week, and today we are diving into one of the hardest parts of organizing a craft space, letting things go. Because honestly, most crafters are not struggling with organization first. We're struggling with the attachment to the supplies or that someday project that's in our head. So today I want to help you make better decisions about your supplies without feeling like you're throwing away money, creativity, or your whole entire crafting identity. So let's talk a minute about why this is so hard. I'm going to normalize something right away. Craft supplies are emotional. They represent projects we've planned, hobbies we've wanted to try, versions of ourselves we thought we might become, and sometimes money we wish we hadn't spent. And that's why decluttering craft supplies feels different than cleaning out the junk drawer. You're not just sorting stuff, you're sorting expectations, intentions, and sometimes guilt. And keeping supplies you've never used does not magically turn them into good investments. Sometimes they're just very expensive decorations for your shelf or very expensive clutter. So they're tiny little monuments to maybe someday. Drop an emoji in the comments if that hit you in the gut. One of the biggest mind shifts that has helped me over the years is recognizing that decluttering is not punishment. It's editing. You are creating a space that supports the crafter you are right now, not the person who might start needle felting someday, or the version of you who became obsessed with resin at 2 o'clock in the morning 2 years ago, or the fantasy version of yourself with unlimited time and unlimited storage, because we're all going to win the lottery someday. Your craft room should support your actual life and crafting habits because systems that stick are built around reality, not crafting delusion. And I say that lovingly as a fellow craft goblin. Uh, so, questions to ask yourself when you're trying to declutter supplies is the first and foremost, would I buy this again today? Because sometimes we keep things because we already own them. Like there's no rhyme or reason, there's no intended project. We just have it, so we keep it. But if you wouldn't spend money on it now, that tells you something. Question number 2. Does this support crafts that I actually do right now? Not the ones we used to do, not the ones TikTok convinced you to try for 11 minutes, the ones you generally enjoy and realistically make time for. Question number 3. Am I keeping this out of guilt? This is a hard one. The money is already spent. Keeping the clutter does not recover the money. It just charges you rent in your craft space forever. It also charges you rent in your brain too. Question number 4, could someone else use this now? Teachers, schools, churches, beginning crafters, art programs may love the things sitting untouched in your drawers, in your bins, on your shelves. Unused supplies are far more valuable in the hands of someone who is going to use them than they are buried under your desk, making you feel bad every time you see them. This all is overwhelming for people to think about. And I know that because I've been in conversations with people about this for years now. So I encourage you to start small. If this resonated with you, if you recognize the fact that you need to make this kind of change, start small. Do not decide after this video that you are going to declutter your entire craft room in one weekend. That is how we end up sitting on the floor surrounded by emotional baggage and six open bins of ribbon in tears. Start tiny. Try a drawer, a shelf, a category, or set a 15-minute timer. Small, consistent decisions made from a place of logic and not emotion last longer than those giant emotional clean out marathons. If you're struggling with this, and even if you're going through a decluttering process and you come up against something that you are just struggling to get rid of, here's something that might help, called the maybe box. Create a temporary storage space. So get a box, get a bin, whatever works for you. And if you truly can't decide about an item, put it in the box. On the outside of the box, put a date, no more than 9 months in the future. Now, this is an organizing principle that you'll find in household organization, and generally they'll say 6 months. I give crafters 9 months because we craft seasonally. And so if you are going through this process in, let's say, late December, early January, if you go 6 months out, that's going to put you to June. You might be right on the cusp of thinking about your holiday crafting. And so you won't have gotten back through that season yet to see what you've used. Now, if you know you're not going to use it again, go ahead and get rid of it. But if you're really struggling, put it in that box, date it 9 months, and store it out of sight. Store it in a different room, out in the garage if you can, if heat, humidity, whatever won't damage what's in there, in an unfinished part of your basement, up in the top of a closet, something like that. Put a reminder on your phone, on your calendar, whatever works for you for that date. And then whatever is still in that box can go because you obviously haven't touched it. You haven't gone looking for it. And that tells you something about whether or not you actually needed it. Sometimes we need distance from things to make clear decisions. And honestly, that's completely okay. So at the end of the day, organizing is not necessarily about having less just for the sake of having less. It's about making your space easier to use, easier to maintain, and more supportive of your creativity. Because when those supplies are manageable, you can actually find things and finish projects and enjoy crafting again instead of feeling overwhelmed every time you walk into the room. So this week, I want you to choose just one small area and ask yourself, what would make this space feel lighter? Not perfect, not Pinterest worthy, just lighter. There is a worksheet in the video description that you can download, and it will walk you through all of these questions. It's got some prompts for you to think about. You can print it off multiple times and use it over and over and over again as you're working through different sections of your room. So definitely make sure that you grab that. And if this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell me about it in the comments. I would love to know, what is the hardest category of craft supplies for you to declutter? Mine is paper. We all have our emotional support category, and that is it for me. So let me know in the comments what you think about that one. And one of these days, maybe I'll show you all my paper hoard. I will be back in 2 weeks with another organizing tip. I will be back next week with an actual craft video and part of my hot glue and good decisions series. So come back and see me next Wednesday for that, and the following Wednesday for my next organizing tip. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Don't forget to grab that worksheet, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.